good morning and welcome to the P&B Morning Show on a beautiful Friday morning, closing the week with a very good one this weekend. And definitely so many Nigerians will be expecting to see what is going to happen in the foreign space. And if you remember, just a few days back, the expectation was very, very high that the Foreign Affairs Minister of China will be in Nigeria. And just yesterday he was in Nigeria. And indeed, so many issues to discuss this morning. As you know, my name is Isa Nu. And on this program, the P&B Morning Show, we try as much as possible to enlighten you and give you the best of activities that is actually taking place in the country. And with me in the studio is my co-host, person of
Abraham Abba.
Abraham, it's nice having you this morning discussing issues like this, and so far so good. We've seen a federal government that has actually stated it very clear that they are not going to accept any foreign machineries to fight their battle. That is a very huge one for many Nigerians.
It's not necessary, if I should say.
Yes.
It's not necessary because we have all it takes to fight these terrorists. But you know, I will always say on this program, that you know, when politics is in any project, you discover that it's taking too long to be discovered. If the Nigerian government is ready, they are ready to fight these people. It's very, very simple.
From everything, it looks so obvious that Nigerian government is very determined to deal with this issue within themselves. And we've seen this Chief of Defense Staff in person of General Chris Musa, who stated it very clear on one of the international platforms that Nigeria, as far as he is concerned as the CDS of the country, is ready to handle matters within its jurisdiction without actually seeking for the presence of other country. And that further buttresses the point that the president had to make known yesterday, or let me say the federal government had to make known yesterday that, look, we are not seeking for foreign machineries. And we are very, very happy to see that the foreign minister, that's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the head of the plans of the People's Republic of China, was there yesterday. And they had a very lengthy meeting with the president. And one of the issues was the issue of currency swap deal. And for long, we've been saying that the currency swap deal was necessary. And I know President Muhammadu Buhari started it. And now the president is asking that it should be expanded beyond $2 billion as it stands now.
Yeah, you see, I want to believe they said government is continuing. And then what Mr. President is doing is not giving anybody any doubt. He said it on the inauguration day that what I'm doing, I'm just riding on the leg of the previous administration, and exactly what we're saying. So we want to commend him that they should keep doing it. They should keep doing the good work, because you could see the foreign government coming to Nigeria and then seeking to do one or two things with us.
I'm happy. From Ghana, the president left Ghana, and we had a very good notes there, a very good mutual relationship with the country. And now to Nigeria, where we have the Minister of Foreign Affairs for the People's Republic of China coming in to actually help in terms of their diplomatic relation they have with the country. And so much will be discussed this morning, most especially the issue of anti-corruption, which is very, very key in moving the nation forward. If we don't fight corruption, as the act was established in 2004 during the presidency of Olusegun Obasanjo, so much was anticipated. At the first instance, we had no Ribadu, and moving on, now we are at this particular point in time where we've seen so much have been achieved within the span of 1 year. But then we expect more. The EFCC just sacked about 27 staff from their agency. I believe that will be after disciplinary decision that was taken within the agency. And I was able to have one or two conversations with the head of public relations yesterday with respect to this, and hopefully he'll be joining us later in the day. But for the meantime, we are going to be having Mr. Matthew Dennis this morning, who is also one of the focal person in terms of journalism when we are discussing the issue of the anti-corruption agencies. Mr. Matthew has been covering that particular agency for long, and then he'll be able to tell us more on this particular program this morning about what is happening in the EFCC. So we'll go on a very short break, and when we return, we'll start off with the conversation. from that mile break. And just before the break, you did see the picture of Mr. Matthew Dennis this morning, and he will be joining us from his location. Mr. Matthew, good morning, and welcome to the P&B Morning Show. We'll be discussing so many issues with respect to the EFCC detaining 10 of its staff, and also the disciplinary committee actually said 27 has to go. So, Matthew, good morning. Can you hear me, Mr. Matthew? I think he's having technical issues from his end, and we hope Mr. Matthew can join us. Can you hear me, Mr. Matthew? Well, while the directors are fixing this particular issue, I just want you to listen to the press release by the EFCC. And the press release stated that EFCC dismisses 27 officers for fraudulent activities, misconduct. But then maybe we'll just have to put a call through to Matthew in order for us to be clear about his presence for the program, because we just had a conversation just now, and we hope you'll be able to join us. So pending that particular information coming that we'll be expecting from Mr. Matthew, I just want us to take a PR and then we get back to him. The EFCC dismisses 27 officers. Okay, now we have Matthew, but then the vision seems to be a bit not that clear. But Matthew, can you hear us from your location, please? Can you hear me? I think he's still having technical issue there, but then still we can actually reach him out. But before we get back to Mr. Matthew, I just want the viewers to actually understand the concept behind this particular decision taken by Mr. The executive chairman of the EFCC, in person of Mr. Ola Olukoyede. And in this particular one, it says, in its quest to enforce integrity and rid it full of fraudulent elements, the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, dismissed 27 of officers from its workforce in 2024. The officers were dismissed for various offenses bordering on fraudulent activities and misconduct. Their dismissal following the recommendation of the Staff Disciplinary Committee of the EFCC was ratified by the Executive Chairman, Mr. Ola Olukoyede. Olukoyede reiterated the commitment of the Commission to zero tolerance for corruption, warning that no officer is immune to disciplinary measures. Every modicum of the allegation against any staff of the agency would always be investigated, commissioned there, including a trending $400,000 claim of yet to be identified EFCC staff against a sectional head. The core values of the commissions are sacrosanct and would always be held in optimal regard at all times. And the commission also wishes to alert the public of the sinister activities of the impersonators and blackmailers using the name of its executive chairman to extort money. So these are some of the issues that are within the fold of the EFCC. But before we start this conversation fully, I believe Mr. Matthew is having technical issue. We'll just go on a very short break in order to keep him abreast, and then we get him back for us to have a proper conversation. break. And now we have Mr. Matthew joining us via phone call. We believe the network seems to be a bit bad this particular season, but then so much can actually be achieved with the help of other forms of technological communication. Matthew, good morning and welcome to the P&B Morning Show.
Yes, good morning.
It's nice having you this morning for us to have this conversation because so much is actually happening within the anti-corruption, let me say, anti-corruption sector. Most especially this particular point in time, the EFCC. So many allegations and so many claims and this claim. But at this particular point in time, just a few days back, the EFCC released a press statement stating clearly that 27 of its staff have to go. And 10 of them, were apart from the 27, 10 are also under detention now, or are being detained. And so much is actually happening. Can you just enlighten us about some of these activities taking place within the EFCC?
Yes, thank you so much for hosting me. I think the EFCC, under the leadership of the Executive Chairman, Ola Olukoyode, is doing a fantastic job. In the sense that beyond the activities raiding the corrupt personalities cutting across politicians, Yahoo boys, and other miscreants in the country, is trying to sanitize the system. That's the EFCC, the agency itself. You understand? Of course, that was on the 6th of January, 27 staff were dismissed over what they term fraudulent activities and misconduct recommended by the Staff Disciplinary Committee that was ratified. Then also the issue of of recent, as on the 8th, as 2 days ago, the young billionaire, they called him Chima Ajinus Nwankota, also they obtained who fraudulently obtained $345,000, and also with a lot of this thing that EFCC is under the EFCC. And we have also a story regarding the scandal missing $400,000 and also $355,000 along special juries that's in Lagos office of the anti-corrupt agency. I think the leadership has been doing a lot when it comes to sanitizing the system, because as we are talking now, like you rightly said, 10 of the EFCC staff are under investigation, and perhaps they will also go. And then when you look at the 2024, the EFCC has recovered a whooping sum of 250 billion naira in assets, along with millions in foreign currencies, and including dollars and pounds. So the leadership, just within the space of 1 year under the Olukoyode regime, is doing a nice job. He's trying to bring about accountability and transparency in the system, in the EFCC. And then, of course, when you look at other sister agencies like the ICPC, and also they are bringing the DCCB in now, there is a kind of collaboration among all the agencies. The guy is doing a good job, and if you continue with that, like Nigerians, there are a lot of things, a lot of bad eggs within the system that the EFCC have to be read out.
Okay, in this particular case now, let us focus on this, Matthew.
What they are earning.
Matthew, let us look at it from this particular angle. If you can hear me, please. Let us look at it from this angle. Looking at the fact that this decision was taken recently, it doesn't actually stop it from looking at what had actually happened in the past. If you remember, something happened in Sokoto State.
Yes.
I think was it last year, and before then there was also an issue in Benin, where some of the staff of EFCC were found wanting on several issues, and I believe that those particular activities actually sprang up this particular decision, because the EFCC actually have to purge itself of persons like this when it comes to the issue of anti-corruption. But clearly speaking, looking at the facts on ground, do you think these people have a better orientation of the activities, or let me say of their work schedule? Do you think they have it? Because from all indication, we shouldn't be having
orientation, and the EFCC, that's the management, need to train its staff more, train and retrain, because whether we like it or not, the issue of we are Nigerians, yes, we do respect. I know that their staff are well paid, in terms of payment of salary and all those that. What we need in the system is sincerity of the job. You understand? The issue of recovery and diversion is there are two things here. When they recover, where is the money going? There should be a kind of accountability. Perhaps bringing the media in to be telling the media this money that is recovered is going into the government coffers or is being used for this. You understand? Beyond recovery, the job is not just about recovery money. The EFCC need to really come out or constitute a committee within the system that will be monitoring all those staff on the field. You understand? Like what I was saying, some staff when you look at what they are taking home and what they live beyond that. You understand? So the EFCC really need to orientate their staff and also give them training that any assignment, what they are recovering, should be done in an official manner, not issue of diverting of funds or anything like that. And then they should work collaboratively with some sister agencies like the DSS. The DSS are there. When you look at the DSS, they have a better orientation, staff orientation, and all those that. Sadly, you see DSS staff being found wanting. So EFCC should also gear up the activities so that staff will have a better orientation in terms of training, in terms of welfare package, so that when they are going out for ready, they will know that they are doing it in an official manner, that people will not start having some suspicions against them.
But in this particular case now that these people, this issue is now in the broader light, and so many Nigerians are actually concerned that if the EFCC can actually have some of this person expunged from its system, and then they still have 10 detained, it probably could have meant that before now, or let me not even say before now, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, there are several of these kind of issues probably that were not brought out. But now we now have an EFCC that is actually telling us that, look, within us there are people that actually are not doing their job as it is expected. But still, don't you think it is going to affect the image of the EFCC?
Yes, of course. It has affected the image already. Before now, a lot of Nigerians are having this doubting mind on the activities of the EFCC itself. But with the coming of the new executive chairman, that's Olukoyode, he's doing a lot of things to sanitize the system. Like I say, he's trying to bring about accountability. He's trying to separate the chaff from the wheat, and he's trying to do a lot of things in terms of transparency. Of course, by this, can I say, an eyesore, you understand? Now the EFCC will be careful in allocating assignment to its staff itself, considering the fact that there are bad eggs. Now, all the staff that will be going out for reading a huge sum of money, or politicians or related, because before now we have been hearing a lot of issues. There are some politicians that they have case with the EFCC, but some of them, in one way or the other, they always buy their way. You understand? There are connivers. So the sanitization of the EFCC by the executive chairman should be a weekly or a kind of, he has his own way, because he has been the secretary of the commission a long while, everybody know. So of course, he has, with that experience, he knows those staff that are good, those that are bad. So he should be able to sanitize and then bring in Nigerians that will be willing to work with transparency and accountability. But we so doing, this is, we all, those that have the intention of going that wrong way, the miscreant, people with this sacking of 27 staff, most of them, they'll come back, they'll wake up from their sleep and start doing the right thing.
Mr. Dennis, I heard you very well, but one of the questions I want to ask is how sure, or how sure is Nigerian people going with this information coming from the decks of the chairman, that these people, because we've heard severally, is it from Kaduna branch and all where, you see a lot of issues coming up with the staffers, because at every morning, at every point in time, they try to do a kind of shady deals. What are we going to find out from this situation going on now? What is going to be the new system in the EFCC? Because this has been trending not just now, it has been trending right from when the EFCC come on board. So what are we going to find from this situation that just took place now with the new chairman?
Yes, of course. Now, what we are going to find, there's what I call the eagle eyes. There are a lot of Nigerians with this sacking of the 27 staff. Everybody will now put more eyes, beam their lights on the EFCC agency, and then the new chairman, in collaboration with other sister agency, we try to sanitize, like what I said, clean up the maze. As you are cleaning up the maze, what are you presenting to the public? That this is the new EFCC. We are now rating out the bad. Now we are presenting the EFCC. What the new chairman needs to do now is to sit up on his job, like he's doing, by ensuring that any staff from one team, maybe they are collaborating with other organizations, he should continue to reach out the bad eggs and ensure that the system is working, that Nigeria will begin to have trust. You understand? Then, like what I said, the issue of accountability is all about bringing the media. Let's do more of media briefing. Like when there is a race, let's say in Zamfara, or there is a race in Akwa Ibom State, they should bring in the media and tell us this is the amount covered from so politician, or from this Yahoo boys, like they are always chasing after the Yahoo boys, Nigeria, they are always chasing. Any money recovered should be brought out in the media. They should ensure that this money, it is given to the federal government, it should directly go immediately, because, you know, in my language, there is a saying that you cannot keep a goat and a yam, and then you look at it and you say the goat will not chop the yam. You understand? So once there is a kind of recovery, the money should be given to the federal government comfort in a proper manner that people will not have doubt. But a situation whereby maybe the EFCC regional director, maybe the one is south, or the one is north central, everything is any recovery is still being kept there. You know, it's tempting. So the executive chairman should ensure that they should continue eliminating the bad eggs. It should not stop. It should not stop.
Okay,
It's not because for a long while, everybody believes that there are a lot of bad eggs in the EFCC.
okay.
They should continue eliminating the bad eggs, sanitizing the system, so that Nigerians will start having that credibility that yes, they now have a new executive chairman that is doing his job. He knows his onion, that anything that once they are going out, people will believe that they are going out to do a job that we have credibility among Nigerians.
Okay, Matthew, let me quickly ask you, as this is a rounding up question. Just some days back, also about 2 days ago, the EFCC actually released a press statement noting that billionaire internet fraudster backed 2 years in Abuja, and this particular issue that you've just raised now, that the EFCC should be holding a press briefing to further enlighten Nigerians about what they are actually receiving from all these particular from all this investigation is a very, very key aspect of all this conversation. And I've seen them on several accounts actually releasing press statements with respect to their seizure and the rest of it like that. Why are you so interested? Why do you have so much interest in the issue of them having press release? Are you trying to get a summation of what they're actually receiving from all these investigations?
Yes, because by you continue to hold, the media is the mouthpiece of the society.
Yes.
You understand? So by continue to hold media conference, press conference, and everybody, all their operations, the media are being carried along. There will be a kind of trust. You understand? And then beyond press conference, there are journalists that will consider to monitor. We have recovered 100 billion from this will continue to monitor. This is 100 billion going. You understand? You need this and wait before you come out loud and do the press conference. Like the issue of course, if you look at the young billionaire, of course, we have seen a lot of properties in Lagos. We have seen a lot of properties in Abuja, Galadima, all of that. So there are a lot of activities. I think also they need more staff. You understand? The workforce is long to be clamping down on this activities. But why doing that? Just issue press, like what I said, it's not just about press release. Invite journalists for a press conference so that journalists can be able to ask questions. Because when you look at the press releases that they have been giving for the 2 days, and now there are a lot of issues to it. You understand? It's not enough. If you look at the issue of the young billionaire now, there is a link with the missing $400 million. There is a link with the missing jewelry in Lagos. So journalists should be able to ask questions. Because if you look at the press release the EFCC issued on the sack of the 27 staff, if you read through the story, you discover that they also spoke about the unclaimed $400 billion.
$400,000. $400,000.
Million in the story. But the meat of the story. But when you invite media and the journalists, you'll be able to follow up and ask questions directly to the EFCC Chairman.
Thank you so much, Matthew, for joining us this morning on the P&B Morning Show. And also adding your voice to this particular conversation is very, very key. And you've actually stated it very clear, because these are some of the issues we are actually looking out for. A situation whereby the anti-corruption agencies must be transparent in their dealings. It shouldn't just be a one-way to what they want to achieve. Justice, they always say, is 3 ways. The victim, the prosecutor, and also the eyes of the people. Who are the eyes of the people? Definitely the journalists. So we are expecting more from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to be more transparent. Not just to themselves, but also to the journalists that is covering that particular agency. So we'll go on a very short break now, and Matthew, once more, we appreciate you for being part of the program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
So within the country, and then hopefully we'll be joined by the Public Relations Officer, Mr. Dele Oyewale, of the EFCC, to tell us more on this after the review. Welcome back from that short break, and we apologize for that mix-up just now. And definitely, we'll be looking at some of the dailies this morning. And on the front page of Daily Trust this morning, there are so much with respect to how issues are being discussed in the country. And on the front page of Daily Trust this morning, we have many killed as gunmen attack Katsina villages. 2 policemen die in Borno Boko Haram strike. So still on the issue of security, or let me say insecurity in this particular point in time. And what do you have to say with regards to that?
Yes, you see, this is coming with a lot of concern, because it's like these guys, the way we said in the previous program, it's like they just relax a little and they allow the security apparatus to relax too, and they will just they come up with a lot of havoc. So, but I want to believe the CDS, the way he said, that they are really on the game. I just pray they get to the root of this miscreant, because they are not really making things easy for the Nigerians, especially those in the rural area. Because what we discover now is they don't go to the town of Katsina or Borno State to go and cause havoc. It's always at the end, at the villages they go.
Rural settings.
Yeah, the rural set. So I want to call on the security to go deep down. They should not just protect those at the city centers. They should also go to the suburb. These are where the criminals have their way. So they should also go there and give them back to back the war, because these men are not really laughing. They are not after any negotiation. So the best thing is to show them the best way to go, and then we'll have peace.
And still on the Daily Trust newspaper, we see just beneath, or let me say beside, the picture of the president and that of Mr. Wang Yi, the foreign minister of China. Just beside it, you see Nigerian seeks increased currency swap deal with China. And when you look at this particular issue, it also have a major play for us as a country, because when we have an increase flow between in terms of currency swap, definitely many Nigerians that are going to China will not seek more of the dollars, and it will be easier for us to be able to transact business, and that will further also strengthen our naira in the international market. And also beneath that is expatriate tax regime. Court summons Fagbemi Tunji Ojo. And this is also one of the key aspects of development in the country, because where you have more expatriates, definitely you get so much in terms of development. But then I think there is a pressure with respect to the issue of tax on some of these expatriates, and that will further also help us.
Yes, you see, even from where they are coming from, most of these expatriates, where they are coming from is not, there is nothing different from what they get over there. Like the tax regime in most of the countries, developed countries, is something to talk about, because you could see development, you could see a lot of things. So what we're saying is, even if this thing will continue, or what the government is trying to put in place about the tax reform, if it's going to work for the Nigerian people, if the Nigerian people will see infrastructure, if people will see the needs, okay, this is why we tax everybody, and you see it on ground, it's going to be a very good one for the country. Because those that understand taxes, they will even want it more, because that is when you're able to challenge the government of the day to say, okay, we're able to pay taxes on this, and now we cannot find like this, and that. So if they should do this, I think it's a welcome development to me.
Okay, just beneath the picture also we have insecurity. Federal government rules out foreign machineries.
Yes, this has been an ongoing thing, right from the previous administration of Buhari. We keep having this issue of there's foreign machineries in the states like Borno and all that, but the security agencies keep denying the fact that we don't really need these people to fight our war, you know, because we have been achieving a lot even when we go out there to fight for other countries, like we see the ECOMOG and all that. So if we should have a pass mark in all these countries that we go to help, what is the problem with the country? What is the problem with Nigeria? Is there any issue that we are not getting? Is there any issue the government is not telling us? Why is this insecurity issue keep prolonging? That is a question we need to keep asking the security apparatus, because they are the one that took this work and say we are ready. Are you getting it? Most of them that are there, they agreed with all they were told. So we need to start challenging them. We need to, just like the guest we had earlier. I think he made mention of something. The media need to ask questions. We need to keep asking questions to these issues. Sometimes we just keep it on a low key, and they feel everything is good. So the media need to do a lot to safeguard the country, because media is one part of the government that the people want to hear from, because we are the mouthpiece of the people.
Indeed, and still on that will be the last one for Daily Trust. The northern groups demand VAT reduction to 3%.
Well, for the northern group, I think they will keep agitating for this, because one, I would say the previous governors we have in the northern state, they actually did nothing. You get, because if they are able to safeguard the places where they were governed, I think this issue of tax shouldn't be coming at every point in time. But what you discover is, like, what they do is they come here, they get the money at the central, and they go back there, they keep it doing nothing with it. You understand? If truly they understand the meaning of governance, with all this issue of tax VAT, reducing it to 2%, or even if they reduce it to 0, when you don't have plans for your people, you see nothing will come out of it. Because we have a lot. Look at a state like just behind us here, Niger State. You could see what the governor is doing on agriculture. This is what we tell your people. This is what you promise your people, that look, you bring me in, you supported me, you voted me in, and this is what I promise to give you.
But in this particular case, when the northern group demand VAT reduction to 3%, probably that can also be tied to the issue of the economic situation in the country. They seem to be seeking for relief instead of the austerity measures that is being taken by the leadership. So, but let us also move quickly to the next online. I think that will be the Punch newspaper. And on the Punch newspaper, we are going to be having Nigeria-China planned collaboration on military training arms production.
Yes, it's a welcome development, because if we should have I was watching a program. And then the Nigerian Air Force were really doing us good, because we could see the engineers trying to rehabilitate some of the aircraft they have in the Air Force base. So I think it's a welcome development. If China is going to give us a very good training with our armies and how to go about producing our arms, I think it will go a long way. We have a lot to achieve with it.
Okay, thank you so much, Abraham Abba, for that pure bliss analysis on some of the issues, and definitely we won't be taking much of the newspaper again. But then we will be joined by the public relation officer of the head of media of the EFCC, Mr. Dele Oyewale, who will be joining us via phone call just after the break. before the break, we did inform you that Mr. Dele Oyewale will be joining us this morning on the morning show. And good morning, and Mr. Dele Oyewale. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on this show.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And it's indeed a very beautiful Friday here in the capital city of Abuja, and so much has actually happened this week. And one of the key issues that is being discussed now is the expulsion of some of your staff, about 27 of them, and 10 being detained. Sir, can you just give us more light with respect to this particular decision taken by the commission? Because for some time we've not actually seen something like this.
Well, you are right to say that for some time, some kind of information, some kind of development may not have emanated from us. Well, the thing actually is about internal trends. It is about employing the modality of discipline and transparency and accountable conduct. The executive chairman of the EFCC, he has said it severally that when it comes to equity, come with hands. And to this effect, 27 officers of the commission were dismissed in 2024, the whole of that year. We just rounded up the figure and they were 27. And it is to enforce professionalism. It is to ensure that as we are fighting corruption outside, we must also do the same internally, so that we have the moral ground to be able to continue with our mandate. So I think it is a commendable thing that the commission is trying to point itself. You know, it is a expression of efficiency. So, and I think the commission needs to be appreciated in that regard. Concerning the 10 people that are detained in Lagos, it has to do with some items in the law office. And because they are being investigated, they have to be detained so that they will not tamper with the investigation. That's all that happened. It is in the overall interest of the nation to ensure that we have a stronger, a more morally sound EFCC that will be able to carry out its mandate effectively and in the overall interest of the nation.
Okay, some persons have actually alleged that it could be as a result of what happened in Sokoto State. I think that was in 2024 or 2023, thereabout, where some of your staff were actually found wanting on several issues and it went viral on social media. Could this also be as a result of that, or it is a series of cases that you guys have been investigating for some time now?
There is no need for people to make any speculation or to imagine anything. Every act of indiscipline or gross misconduct has the rightful, we have the rightful way of dealing with such things. So whether in Sokoto, whether in Maiduguri, whether in Lagos, anywhere, wherever a case of misconduct is established and can be proven, the commission has its own disciplinary framework to address that. And that's what we did all throughout the year. It's not about Sokoto alone. Anywhere a case of misconduct is reported, we have the appropriate sanction that the commission normally employs to deal with something. So it's an ongoing thing. It is to cleanse the system, to sanitize, and to ensure that there is no culture of impunity that is allowed to stand, even in the commission.
Okay, one key aspect of this is that just this morning we had an investigative journalist having the same conversation on the need for the EFCC, or for what the EFCC is doing. He actually applauded the leadership of the EFCC and also appraised your work. But one key aspect that he has actually questioned is that for some time now, there seemed to be a bit of just press release, and the journalists are not actually having that major time to come to you people and then ask you questions with respect to how far the details of all this investigation that was carried by your agency on your staff.
That is not true. That is not correct. And that is not professional. We are in this business of reporting together. A journalist does not need to wait for him to be invited to his feast. We are here. By the grace of God, I'm the spokesperson of the commission. You have anything to ask? Come to me. Last year, December, my chairman, Mr. Olaolukoyede, because someone is very, very sensitive to happenings in the nation, and in our office. There are about 65. Media managers, title editors, bureau chiefs, beat reporters, and everyone that has to do with the reporting of the activities of the commission. We regularly meet with them. So it is not true to say that we are not meeting with journalists. And so who are we meeting with? So we are here and we actively engage media professionals in the work that we do, because we recognize that the fourth estate of the realm is so important, in the assignment, the task that have been entrusted to us. So I can say that with every emphasis at my command that EFCC is one of the most media-friendly, media-sensitive organizations that can have anywhere in the world, because we relate positively with them.
Good morning, Mr. Dele. I heard you very well. The media is always at the verge of getting more information from a parastatal like the EFCC and the other agencies. But one thing I want to ask is that how far or how long can this purging of the house going to be, the cleansing of the house? Because most times you see the bargain with the staffs and the other criminals out there is so pronounced that you take the commission to be like a toothless bulldog that is not doing its work.
I take exception to that comment. How can you say that he is toothless bulldog?
No, in this particular case, what he's referring to is what is the perception of Nigerians, because for some time
is not right. It's not empirical. It's not truthful. A commission that recorded more than 4,000 convictions in a year is a toothless bulldog. A commission that made arrest of 792 internet and investment scammers in one single arrest in Lagos last year. A commission that secured the forfeiture of 753 duplexes and other apartments in the local government district of Abuja just last year. A commission that made monetary recoveries to the realm of about 300 million a year. And when we talk, we should talk with facts. Let's talk with facts. Let's talk with things that can be established. Anybody that has an issue with the EFCC knows that the EFCC is not a joke. Those who are facing the teeth of the wind, they know how good it feels. So it is very, very, it is uncharitable for anybody to say that the commission is a toothless bulldog. Go and ask you that have issues with the commission, and you will know. We do our job and we do it professionally. So I'm not going to take some kind of commentary very kindly, because it is not true. Okay. Concerning media engagement, all of the people that are reporting the activities of the commission, they come here regularly. They meet with us, we relate with them. On an average, we issue an average of about 5 press releases in a day to notify the public about what is happening. So, what more will an agency do? Okay. So the EFCC is one of the strongest institutions that we have in this country, and it is our overall best interest to support this commission so that we can drive the development that is good for the nation. All of the good things that the commission did last year, you are not talking about them. They are in the public space.
Well,
all of the convictions, 4 former governors were in, 4 former ministers were in, so many things that the commission did last year.
Well, these are issues that we've actually recorded on several accounts, and we, just like the previous guest did stated that yes, the leadership of the EFCC is actually doing what it ought to be, and he raised just very few concerns, and he was very, very happy with one of the recent catch you had, the latest one, the billionaire guy that was caught by the EFCC. So much achievement have been made within this particular time frame by the EFCC. But if you look at one key aspect in your press release with respect to the 27 staffs that were actually purged out of the system, if you look at what happened between the Minister of State for Defense and the previous leadership of the EFCC, the banters that went on with respect to the issue of using the leadership name to claim money, which your team is actually working seriously on. How far will you guys go in making sure that people don't use the name of the agency, the name of the leadership of the agency, to actually bargain for their personal interest?
You see, in law enforcement, it is not everything you say until you have come to the end of your investigation.
Yes.
We press about 3 days ago alerting the public about blackmailers, people that are using the name of the Mr. Olaolupe money from high profile, and we alerted the public that we are on notice that there are blackmailers, there are extortionists, there are delusions, and people should be careful. Nobody should ban the name of the executive chairman for any of exemplary conduct. It's not asking anybody for money for anything, and he came out public to say it. And for people that have done that, there are a lot of investigation that we are doing. And until we get to the end of the matter, we may not talk about it. But the essential thing is that we are open to the public. Everything that we are doing, we lay it bare before the public. You understand? So when people suspect some kind of thing, they should alert us, and we are going to take the right step. All of us we are all stakeholders in this fight against corruption, because we are all of us, we are suffering the effect of corruption. So we are all stakeholders.
So now, the chairman now has been there for some time, and you've actually read out some of his achievements in 2024. And so much I heard, because the president recently stated that anti-corruption fight is a major one. And do you think the chairman is going to change his style of leadership this time around in 2025, or is going to still continue with his model of achieving what he achieved in 2024?
The chairman is very proactive. He's a leader that is thinking on his feet. He's a leader that is passionate about what he's doing. When he came in, he came in with a three-pronged agenda that is all too known, and he has been faithful, to this agenda, using the anti-graft war to stimulate the growth of the economy, using the anti-graft war to improve the international image of Nigeria, using the anti-graft war, to adhere strictly to the rule of law, and all of those things. And he has been very faithful to this, and he will continue to do better. The essential thing is that when you have a strategy that is working, they say that you don't change a winning team. You have to improve on that strategy, you do more. So he has his agenda set out already. He's focused. He's not a trial and error leader. He's a leader that is focused. He knows what he's doing. And the commission is already seeing all of this. My brother, there has been no nation, there has been no law enforcement agency in the world that recorded what happened last year. A single recovery, 753 duplexes and apartments in one forfeiture. It has never happened anywhere in the world.
And we pray and we hope
all of
that
these things are things that we should applaud the commission for. People across the world, they know that we are working. And for someone that has achieved that in 1 year, you can only imagine what will happen this year. This year is going to be a year of good speed. It's going to be a year of a greater impact in the anti-corruption war. And all of us as stakeholders, I can only appeal that we cooperate with the commission, and where there are issues that we need constructive engagement and criticism, bring them forward in good faith, and we will do what is needful.
Okay, and just like you've rightly stated, if you remember, the journalists across the world and even in the country, yes, celebrated that particular achievement of the chairman with respect to the seizures, the captures, and the rest of it like that. And that is to tell you that, yes, we are abreast with the activities of the agency, of the commission, and we are also in full support of what he is doing. The only place we have issues are places where we actually call you to get further confirmation or enlightenment on issues like that. Now, let us quickly move back to this particular case, which we are going to use to round up the program. The case of Mr. Chima Hyginus Nkocha, the billionaire, where you released a press statement of his just some few days back, about 2 days back. Looking at this particular case, and you look at what the Oxford Dictionary just did between yesterday or day before yesterday, the Oxford Dictionary actually added a name, Yahoo, to explain what Yahoo is in English. Oxford Dictionary added Yahoo to the words in English dictionary. And for your agency or your commission, sorry, I mean to say, your commission has been doing so much and also have been using this particular phrase, Yahoo. In this particular case now, that the world has now known the full meaning of Yahoo, are you people concerned about how they are actually affecting the image of Nigerians globally? If you look at our previous relationship with United Arab Emirates, which the president has actually cemented, a very good one for the country, how are you guys going to deal with these people, in particular in 2025?
The war against internet fraud is a progressive war. It's a systematic war. It's a full-blown war that the Commission is fighting. If you have got to travel outside the country, the activities of internet fraudsters have become a major embarrassment. An average Nigerian they look at you as a potential fraudster. Immigration issues, all of these people, they scan you, they ask you embarrassing questions, they look at you with scorn and disdain. And that is why we are saying that we must all come together in one voice, standing shoulder to shoulder to fight internet fraud. Last year alone, the Commission held two national dialogues. We brought stakeholders together and we said, see, let us come together. Let us think together. Let us aggregate proposal together. Let us optimize our energy, our skills, everything that we have to fight this monster. And I tell you that in some few hours to come now, there is going to be a statement that is going to be made concerning this issue of internet fraud, a major breakthrough that the Commission made.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, so I want to let you know that we are focused and we are committed to the fight. And we are not bothered by whatever people are saying. You are fighting internet fraud too much. If you know that the cumulative damage that this kind of crime is doing to our nation, if you are an investor and you are hearing all of these things, will you come to a country that is famous for this kind of thing? You will not want to come. And that is why we are making every effort to ensure that we tackle internet fraud, tackle it frontally, tackle it frantically, to ensure that the nation is free of the stronghold of this crime, so that our image, we can go anywhere in the world with our heads high, our shoulders lifted, because we have a nation that is not tolerating this kind of crime. And that's what the Commission is doing. And that's why all of us should come on board, so that together we'll be able to fight this monster.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dele Oyewale, Head Media and Publicity of the EFCC. It's indeed a very good one having you this morning to enlighten us more about the activities of the Commission.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the program.
Okay, this is how far we can go with Mr. Dele Oyewale this morning, spending his time with us, about 20 minutes with us here in the studio is very, very important. He is always on top of his job, making sure that, yes, all the press releases are received by the journalists and reporters of that particular, covering that particular commission. So you've listened to the head of public relation of the anti-corruption agency, EFCC.
Yes, these are some of the things. You see, in the media space, they need to tell Nigerians what they do at every point in time, because we keep having issues that, okay, these people are not telling the Nigerian people what they need to hear. Like now, he is able to encourage Nigerians. He is able to tell Nigerians what they need to hear about the fight that the EFCC is going. And that's why I use the word toothless, because many people...
Yeah, he was agitated.
And I need to push him, because for me to push him, for him to come out and tell us more, is because of the word I use. So for me, as a media person, I will not go back with my word, but I'm going to charge him to say, okay, you need to tell people more, because you are the mouthpiece of the EFCC. So what we said is we need more. They need to tell Nigeria more, because we had a lot of issues with state executive that just go there and like they do just a plea bargain and they go. What happened? What happened after that? These are some of the things they need to tell Nigerians and the media. So
Indeed, these are critical issues that definitely Nigerians have to actually get more info to, because just like the issue of the plea bargain, we've seen politicians having that same plea bargain on several accounts.
Yes.
And after that, it takes them donkeys of years for the case to actually come to summit. But then, in this particular case of the internet fraudster, which we are also against, you discover the alacrity involved in it. Before you know, they get them today within short period of time. The judiciary do the work, and then the whole thing comes to an end. So why can't we also get that same alacrity for the political office holders? These are key aspects of it that I believe that the EFCC will actually have to trump their card on to be able to cement their image again in the public. So this is how far we can go today on the P&B Morning Show. Mr. Abraham, where will we be traveling to this weekend?
Well, I'm in Abuja. If you were to take me out,
so probably you'll be joining the president. The president has returned back to the country, receiving Mr. Wangi. So hopefully you'll be the next person he's going to receive.
No problem. I'll be very happy if you can make that happen.
This is how far we can go on the P&B Morning Show this morning. My name is Isa. No, have a lovely day and a beautiful weekend.
Abraham Abba, I wish you a very good weekend. Bye.